Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl DemiTalks. I hope you guys are having an amazing week. Today I'm here with my lovely mom. I'm just going to be talking to her, getting her experience while she was pregnant with me. I'm the middle child, but while my mom was pregnant with me, she had some pregnancy complications, primarily placenta previa. So, Mom, I'm just going to read out the definition for placenta previa for anyone that may not know, and then we'll just get into it. So placenta previa occurs when a baby's placenta partially or totally covers the mother's cervix / the outlet of the uterus. Placenta previa can cause severe bleeding during pregnancy and delivery. If you have placenta previa, you might bleed throughout your pregnancy and during your delivery. So Mom, was that the case with you, like you were bleeding throughout your pregnancy with me?
Yes. Actually, placenta previa, in simple terms, is when the baby's placenta covers the mom's cervix, that's the womb opening. It's either partially or fully. And there are 4 grades of placenta previa. In your case, I had placenta previa grade 4.
So the highest.
Which is the worst,
Wow.
the highest. And I was told in those days in Africa, Nigeria, where we come from, there was a lot of mothers died, due to placenta previa, even though they didn't really know how to treat it then.
Yeah.
And I found out that even in the Western world, there's a great, issue with placenta previa, because the worst grade usually, I was told then that it's either the mothers lose the baby or the mothers die. Yeah,
wow.
because placenta is not supposed to come out before the baby.
Yeah.
But with placenta previa, the placenta tries to come out before the baby.
Is the placenta like the breeding source and the source from the mother to the
It's
child?
so
if that comes out before the baby,
yeah,
the baby could die. And Mom, in your case, you were admitted into hospital quite early in your pregnancy.
Yeah.
How many months, if you remember?
Well, with you, I was prepared because I was they explained to me the stages of placenta previa, and they told me that with placenta previa grade 4, the placenta doesn't move. It covers the cervix, whereas with placenta previa grade 1 and 2, most of the time the placenta moves back to its position. But with 3 and 4, the 3, 80% chance that it would move. But the 4, I was told, would not move. So they had to manage me, and I was told that when the pregnancy reached 12 weeks, I'll be kept in hospital.
12 weeks?
3 months. And I was told that for the quality of life of the baby, I had to be kept in because there was no way anybody could manage staying home with placenta previa grade 4.
And what were you going through, like your body, the pains, or what were you going through? Just bleeding, or what else did it come
Bleeding, hemorrhaging more like.
Yeah.
Like I would explain to you again in simple terms. It's like opening a tap with water, gushing out. And there wasn't much pain, but discomfort, because while that was happening, you as a baby, like they used to call you a fighter, you were also struggling, pushing, kicking the placenta. It's like, you get out of my way, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And at 12 weeks I was kept in hospital, and they were able to push me up till 34 weeks. So I was in hospital from 12 weeks of pregnancy to 34 weeks.
That's so
and
crazy.
I had to be on the bed with a bedpan.
Yes.
It was tough.
And how did you feel like the hospital cared for you with the condition that you had? Were they helpful?
They were very helpful. They had no choice anyway.
Yeah.
They were very helpful. But I noticed that when my team, like the medical team assigned to me, when they weren't around, the other teams were very reluctant, to treat me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because were they unsure? They were not familiar with your condition?
Well, yes, maybe because they weren't I wasn't their patient per se.
Yeah.
But if there was an incident, with me that they had to attend to, because when I was pregnant as well, with all 3 pregnancies, I had like palpitations and, a bit of complications and nausea and all that.
Yeah.
And because of the placenta previa, because of the complications of placenta previa, they didn't want to, really treat me. But they had no choice anyway. And I would say my faith, God saw me through. Yeah.
Amen. Thank God. And I also want to ask, when having placenta previa, were you prepared for a C-section, or was it like an emergency C-section at birth?
Well, I was prepared that it would have to be C-section, cesarean section. There's no way you'd have placenta previa grade 4 and you'll be able to birth the baby, like naturally, because the placenta would pop out before the baby. So it has to be through cesarean section. And I was told that usually there would come a stage when the blood would start gushing out and it wouldn't stop. And at that stage, the baby had to be brought out within like a few minutes.
Yeah.
And that happened. They were able to push me up to 34 weeks when I had you.
That's crazy. I don't know if you know, but there is a high mortality rate with Black women, especially in childbirth. And I wanted to ask for your experience in pregnancy with my sister and my brother, my older sister and my younger brother. How was that experience for you? Was it similar to mine? Was it as severe, or it was, you just had, in terms of pregnancy and childbirth for you with all of your 3 children, how would you describe your experience?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm one of the lucky ones in pregnancy. Like I have friends who would be pregnant and they'll still be very active, whereas I wasn't. Like the first pregnancy was the best, even though it was tough as well, with Deborah, and I actually suffered with a lot of palpitations, nausea. And I didn't want to be in my home. I didn't want to eat my food. I craved other people's food. I wanted to go to restaurants, and my husband, your dad, was kind of like annoying me all the time. And apparently that's part of the deal for some women. And well, that was all. With Deborah, I had Deborah like naturally. what you would call naturally.
Okay.
And and I didn't even realize I was pregnant with you a few months down the line. And with the complications in your pregnancy, your dad and I decided no more babies. But as God will have it, Josh came along a few years later, and Josh's pregnancy was
I
like,
kind of remember when you were. I know I was young, but I remember when you were pregnant.
Just because there's just a few years between you, and Josh's pregnancy was similar to Deborah's, but because of the experience with you, I was very fearful. I was nervous. Your dad was, he was perturbed throughout, and along the line, I kept on telling, my consultant, my team, during antenatal visits, that this baby has to be brought out through cesarean as well, because I was told during your pregnancy that I wasn't supposed to have any more babies.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. So the doctors advised?
They advised, because the cesarean wasn't even a normal one. They called it McDonald's cesarean. Well, the medics would understand.
I'll put the definition on the screen.
Yeah, because like with cesarean, they would open the stomach like on a straight line under the stomach, but with yours they had to trace, like a zigzag tracing. Like it was if we have to talk about the experience, we will be here all day. So, and because of that, with Joshua's pregnancy, we were very, very, very afraid. And we kept telling them that this baby has to be brought out. The baby was not supposed to reach full term, but they didn't listen to me. And there came a day where I went into labor. It was like an alarm. It wasn't really a labor, per se. Something like, I don't know if that was it, but as the way God works, you kind of forget this experience. I just have vague, I can just remember, vaguely. And then we called the ambulance, and when I got there, the consultant I met on duty, luckily wasn't my consultant, and I explained to her, and she was so upset and said, why didn't they listen to you? And within a few minutes I was in the theatre, and I had complications with breathing as well with Joshua. And when I came around, I was told that they had to call the cardiac department.
Wow.
And, it was God.
Yes.
So we just have to keep on thanking God every day.
And that happens a lot,
Yeah.
with women being, and especially women of color being not listened to when they're in pain. We're kind of characterized as having a higher threshold of pain. And it's a miracle. And God is so good because we can see He had a purpose for all of our lives, and that's why we're here.
Yeah.
But Mom, I really want to get into my birth.
Okay.
Because you always tell me the story about me being a fighter and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I want you to get into the actual day you gave birth to me and tell the people how it went.
Well, like I said to you earlier, you tend to forget most of the things, but some things still stick, to your memory. Like on the actual day, I was warned beforehand that there would come a day the bleeding would start and wouldn't stop, and that day came. And before Jack Robinson could be said, I was wheeled to the theatre, and I didn't know what happened. Your dad wasn't there because that happened late in the night, overnight, and I woke
How
up.
was that for you being by yourself?
I didn't know because they
Give you your medicine.
So they give you the anesthetics, they make you sleep, and then I woke up and you were already in the special care unit.
Wow.
And your daddy was there at the time, and I didn't come around for weeks because of the cesarean section.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow. And when I was born, I was like, you said I was like the
size of
hand.
my palm.
It's crazy. And you always talk about how the placenta still was struggling to move, and I kind of pushed the placenta.
That was that was before you were born.
Oh, okay. So I was always pushing through the placenta.
Pushing through,
like
kicking, fighting.
Yeah.
And the doctors used to say, oh God, she's a fighter. And oh my God, and thank God she's a fighter, because, placenta previa grade 4 it's not a joke.
Yeah.
And if you hadn't had that fighting spirit in there, that God knows what would have happened. That's the way I understood what they used to explain to me.
Yeah.
And when you were birthed, you were the size of my palm. They gave me toys, clothes.
Wow.
From the hospital.
Toy clothes for my clothes.
Yeah, and I was told that I had to go look for clothes for toys, for dolls.
Wow.
And there was a shop.
Because I was
there.
premature.
Yeah, we were premature and very tiny. And there was a shop that I went to, a special shop that I went to get clothes for you. Wow. Toys.
And they had me in the incubator for a while.
You were there for, I can't remember, I'm sure your dad will remember all these things, but I know you were there for weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how you said that it took you weeks to come around. Was that like physically feeling like yourself again?
Yes.
And how was the aftercare?
Aftercare was fine because they came around to the house to take care of both of us, and it was very fine. Yeah. But I had a very rough time even after having you, because I think I was traumatized. So I was teary. Yeah. I was always emotional. Yeah. But you got through. I got over it.
And I was a blessing.
You are still a blessing.
Thanks. Mom, so do you have any apprehensions or any, I won't say fears, but apprehensions when it comes to Deborah and I having our pregnancies? And do you think it's a hereditary thing?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't, because
your sisters didn't have any issues?
No, and apart from that, I strongly believe in God, that God will see you through.
Amen.
And like I always say to people, that it's good to bank prayers. Yeah. Pray so that you would not need to pray. Because when the time of difficulty comes for a lot of people, you can't really pray at that time. Yeah. So there's something I believe in, like you're banking your prayer, you're praying ahead of time for what you wish for yourself and for your children. And for most mothers, you pray more for your children than for yourself. So I trust God.
Amen. Mom, I want to thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming
Thank you,
onto my
darling.
channel. I appreciate it so
Love you.
much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of my mom's experience during pregnancy and childbirth, and I hope it gave you guys some information into placenta previa and everything about it, and I hope you guys are informed. I hope you guys have an amazing week and that God blesses you all. Stay strong, stay safe.
Thank you. All the best.
Bye.